Hello everyone. So in today's class we are going to discuss question number 21 of ISS set A, belongs to the year 2023. Okay, so this question is a theoretical question. Okay, so what this question says, which of the following are the examples of data condensing? So here the four options are given. You can see here in this picture. The first is your data array, the frequency distribution, the histogram and ogives, and rest of the four options are given to you. You have to choose among them. Okay, now I am going to discuss one by one that what is data array, the frequency distribution, the histogram and the ogives. So first is your data array. So basically what is data array? Data array is a collection of elements typically of the same type. Same type means either it can be your numbers, it can be your letters, it can be the words, right? And these numbers are arranged in a specific order, and it is used to program, like mostly it is used in programming and data analysis, like to store and manage a set of values very efficiently. Okay, so in an array each element is defined by an index or a key, and by pressing that key you can like access that number. It allow you to easily access any of the number in that array. Also it can help you in the manipulation of the data. Okay, so this is the important point regarding the array. The next thing is that it can be one dimensional, it can be two dimensional, it can be multi-dimensional. Like they are fundamental in various programming languages and are used in many applications for a simple data storage and complex algorithm. Now if I'm going to talk about your one dimensional array, so one dimensional array can be in two forms, in Python language. Also you can consider it in like array in Python and array in Java. So if I am going to consider array in Python, it can be written as numbers. In a form of a number, we can write it like that: 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, etc. Okay, I can access any of the number from this array by just pressing the key. If I am pressing the key 2, so it will return me the answer 30, right? 0 is for 10, 1 is for 20, 2 is for 30, 3 is for 40 and 4 is for 50, like that. Okay, this is your one dimensional array. Now if I'm going to talk about the two dimensional array or a multi-dimensional array, it can be written in form of a matrix, like 1 2 3, then we have 4 5 6, and then we have 7 8 9, like that. Okay, so this is called your multi-dimensional array. But in Python, if you are going to consider the array, so it will be like fruit. So it is like a list of fruit, arrangement of the letter, arrangement of the word. So first will be like apple. I'm just taking an example. You can take another words also. Banana. Okay, then I'm taking this cherry, and you have to put all these in inverted commas, and in the same way you can access any of the word from this array. So basically data arrays themselves are not typically classified as data condensing. Instead, data condensing is generally refers to the technique that is used to reduce the volume of the data while retaining the essential characteristic. So this contains summation, this contains aggregation, and this contains compression. Okay, so one by one I'm just going to explain summation. If I am considering summation means creating summary statistic. Creating summary statistic means talking about mean, talking about median, etc. Because all these averages tells us about a summary. Mean always tells us about the average value, median always tells us about a single point of the data, etc. Now coming to the second one, like first I am talking about your summarization. Okay, the next one is your aggregation. The third one is your compression. So obviously in the summarization we are talking about mean, median and mode, etc. And in your aggregation means combining multiple data points in a single value. So for the example of aggregation, I am just taking an example that I am summing the sale figure of the whole month. So if I am going to sum it, it will give me a single number. Compression, if I'm talking about compression, so using algorithms to reduce the size of the data files. So its examples are like your JPEG images. Like for text we use gzip, etc. Right? So these are the examples of compression. Now we have seen that data array is not representing the data condensing, because data condensing generally refers to as the reduction of the volume of the data. Okay, now now talking about the frequency distribution, and histogram. So first I'm taking histogram. Like we all have studied about the histogram. It is a graphical representation of the distribution of numerical data. What it does, it groups data into bins or intervals and displays the frequency of the data point within each interval. So what is the purpose of this histogram? So I'm talking about histogram. What is the purpose of the histogram? It condenses a large data set into visual format. Like you all have seen, if we have some sort of data, we take range, the class intervals on the x-axis and the frequency on the y-axis. So the purpose is that it condenses the large data set into visual format that shows distribution of the data points, right? So instead of explaining every individual point, you can quickly see how the data is distributed across the set or the range. So if I'm taking an example, that suppose I have I have taken the test of total 100 students, so listing from like 0 to 100. So instead of plotting all the students from like 0 1 2 dot 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 up to 100, what I am going to do, I'm going to take the range. I'm going to divide their marks in the range, like from 0 to 10, and then from like 10 to 11, then from 11 to 20, like that. Okay, so I will take their ranges like that. Okay, the range, like it is up to you if you are going to take from like 0 to 10, like if I'm going to take 10 to 20 and 20 to 30, etc., like that. It is up to you the range in which you want to divide your like the total marks. So instead of representing every marks of every single student on a range, you can divide or like rearrange this large number of data in a reduced form. Okay, so what it is representing, it is just representing the data condensing and giving you a visual representation of your data on the x and y plane. Now if I'm talking about the frequency distribution, so obviously it provides you a way to see the accumulation of frequencies up to a certain level. What is the purpose of it? So obviously it contains data showing how frequency accumulate across the interval, which will help you in understanding the distribution's cumulative pattern. So obviously if I'm taking the example of the same, I'm taking the same example, right, that for the same test scores, the cumulative frequency distribution can like show the student score below a certain level. Like for an example, if I'm just considering that 30 students are scoring between 0 to 10, and 50 students are there who score between 0 to 20. So the cumulative frequency for the 20 score would be your 50, right? So like we all have studied in many of the questions of descriptive measure. So these are the examples of data condensing. Similarly, ogive is also the ogive also represent the data condensing, where we reduce the form of a data. We have a large volume of data and we just reduce that volume and just represent that data in a simplest way. So that is why only data array is not the example of showing you data condensing, but rest of the histogram, frequency distribution and the ogives are the examples of data condensing. Okay, so I think that is all about this question. So like it is a theoretical question, so that is why it is important to go deep in the theory of every point. So I think you all are getting it now. So are you all getting it? Please do let me know in the comment box, and if you like this video, please do share it with your friends as well. So thank you everyone for watching it. Have a nice day.